Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm on Metafy, so click the link in the video description, it'll take you right to my page. What's up, guys? Got another video. This time we are looking at Kanto Cup for maybe the 6th or 7th time. I mean, people love Gen 1, so Niantic will keep giving us Kanto Cup. But honestly, I used to complain about it. I really don't anymore. I think Kanto Cup is one of the more balanced metas that they've given us, so I don't mind playing it over and over again here. As you can see in this video, I'm actually running Alolan Graveler as the closer in this first game in particular. I'm showing you a little bit of the team building process, why this Pokemon didn't work out. So you can see I had a Nidoqueen there. Can't really swap out to my Dewgong because that's my best answer. So then you're kind of in a tough spot, and Nidoqueen's a pretty common Pokemon in this meta, so I figure we might as well run double ice instead. And the main benefit of this as well is I get to try out 2 new toys. So very recently, Dewgong and Alolan Sandslash, they were both, I would say, not unusable, but Dewgong got that day where if you didn't have the double legacy Dewgong, you were able to evolve a seal and get both Ice Shard and Icy Wind on your Dewgong. So that was pretty great, and I wanted to try out Dewgong again, especially in Kanto Cup. And then Alolan Sandslash had a community day where it got Shadow Claw. And honestly, I was not very impressed by Shadow Claw, just theoretically. I was like, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. Powder Snow, same energy, probably more damage after same type attack bonus. So I was pretty hesitant to run Shadow Claw on this particular Alolan Sandslash in this team, especially as the second Pokemon in an ABB team, because likely this Alolan Sandslash will not have to face against any ice counters. But I convinced myself that, you know what, I should try out the Community Day move to see how it is. And I was actually very impressed, and I think that's because Shadow Claw actually helps Alolan Sandslash versus some of the Pokemon that it has to counter for the Venusaur. So for example, Hypno, or Gengar, or Alolan Marowak, or even any of the Steel types, like other Alolan Sandslash, or Magneton, right? Those are Pokemon that Venusaur really struggles with, so it's really important that this Alolan Sandslash can handle those Pokemon, and it can actually do a little bit of a better job with Shadow Claw. Either way, here's me swapping the Alolan Graveler off the team with the Sandslash and getting right back into the games. And yeah, this team was actually quite a bit of fun. So here we go. First game. It's a Hypno lead. These have been everywhere. I'm going to swap right into the Dewgong. I used to throw one Vine Whip before swapping, but if I throw one Vine Whip first, then Dewgong does not get to the Icy Wind before Hypno gets to a Thunder Punch. You absolutely want to get this Icy Wind off first. I was winning CMP versus Hypnos. I don't know if that's actually the case. In this case, I didn't win CMP. They just didn't throw until now. And the Thunder Punch gets off. But at the same time, this Lickitung is going to come in. And this is where Dewgong as a safe swap really shines. You kind of bait out their best answer to Dewgong. And what you do is you just Icy Wind them down. You just keep spamming those Icy Winds. The more debuffs, the better. Venusaur can really take advantage of this sort of situation if it doesn't have to shield. So, for example, this Body Slam, it's going to kind of hurt, but nowhere near as much as if this Lickitung was not debuffed. Not to mention the licks aren't adding up nearly as much. So Venusaur very comfortably lives one. And I decide to throw the Frenzy Plant right before they get to another Body Slam here. Just trying to keep as much energy, like I'm trying to make an energy advantage out of this situation. So for example, we're now back in that Venusaur versus Hypno matchup. Both of us have lost a Pokemon, but my Venusaur now has almost an extra move ready to go. So I swap into Alolan Sandslash, and I'm really just hoping there's no Fire Punch here. If this isn't Fire Punch, it's not going to do very much damage. So I'm able to no-shield it, and in comes Blastoise. Pretty tough matchup here. Also, let's take this as a moment, a PSA here. Make sure to TM your Pokemon first. Once again, I do not have the correct moveset on Alolan Sandslash, and that's really hurting me in this Blastoise matchup. Barrel Ball is resisted by water types as well, so I really need that ground type move for neutral coverage. Either way, with 2 shields up, these Ice Punches, or I mean 1 shield up, these Ice Punches, they do enough with the Shadow Claws. And this is kind of another example. This first game already showing how much better Shadow Claw is here. I'm going to swap to Venusaur to catch a move. And then hopefully, Alolan Sandslash will be able to farm that Blastoise down. In this case, they actually come in with the Hypno. And you can see these Shadow Claws are doing so much work. Super effective damage against Hypno. Neutral against Blastoise. Shadow Claw is absolutely keeping me in this game at this point. Sandslash is going to be able to take down the Hypno and finish with 2 Ice Punches because of the farm down potential as well. So 1 Ice Punch is going to be enough to take out the Blastoise. And yeah, just need to make sure that we don't lag here and get a couple water guns through and end Sandslash's little reign of terror here. But yeah, so immediately Shadow Claw pays off in the very first game. And that's when I realized, wait a second, maybe Shadow Claw does have some merits over Powder Snow in the first place. But yeah, actually, do I TM after this game? Yeah, I gotta get the correct moves on the correct Pokemon. I think I actually maybe TM'd it already. Dewgong lead. In this case, I decided to stay in for a little bit. Gonna throw Frenzy Plant right away. This will grab a shield almost certainly. If not, then I'll be able to farm down. And then I throw one more Vine Whip to try and catch that Ice Shard, because most people won't throw right away. Sorry, Icy Wind. I normally don't like catching debuff moves, but man, catching a double resisted Icy Wind where you'd have to shield your Venusaur instead is kind of a big deal. Unfortunately, they do have a Mew here, which can let go with some super effective wall charges. But the goal here is just for Dewgong to just debuff this Mew so that Venusaur can come in and just have a field day. They throw a Surf here, which I think they're only at, or Dragon Claw, I mean. And Dewgong's actually going to be able to get to that next move as well. And with the debuff, Mew almost certainly has to shield this, or they'll go down before the Dewgong. So Dewgong able to take shield and switch advantage versus Mew while debuffed. I guess just shield advantage, or sorry, switch advantage versus Mew, because the shield was consumed by Venusaur. It's pretty impressive stuff. And then we do have the Dewgong versus a Sandslash matchup, and that's much better for a Sandslash. So this player running an ABA Ice team, very similar to the one I'm running, except I'm running it in the correct order. So that gives my team a little bit of an advantage. I'm almost certain they're going to bait here, but there's no reason not to shield because I have 2 shields remaining. They'll get to the Bulldoze before I do here. And you know what? I don't mind shielding. There's the Bulldoze. Oh, do I lose this? I actually don't know. Yeah, I get the Bulldoze off. I didn't farm up nearly enough. I was scared that they'd be able to catch and switch, and I thought I was far enough ahead. But it turns out I maybe was not. We'll see. Icy Wind or Water Pulse is going to do quite a bit of damage. Should be able to get off that Bulldoze later. Yeah, but this Dewgong is maybe just a little bit too healthy. My opponent playing very well with energy here, whereas I failed to play well with energy. They get the sneak through with the Ice Shard as well, and that might be all she wrote here. Yeah, with no sneak, Sandslash actually would have still been able to pull this game off despite a couple mistakes. Yeah, sucks losing those games, but Dewgong did a good job. Sandslash did a good job. I, as a player, did not do a good job. Anyways, Lickitung in the lead. This is maybe the best matchup, and in comes the Grimer. So I kind of, every time I see a Grimer, I just assume it's going to be a Muk in the back too, and that doesn't bode so well. I'm going to shield the first move just because Grimer doesn't really have any bait moves. I'm going to go in with the Icy Wind, and if you're going to shield a move, you want to shield the first one, right? Because now you're going to get the debuffs out. Next crunch is going to deal less damage. So attack fell. We'll see what happens here. They're throwing with good timing, and a crunch. It's not going to deal all that much damage. Yeah, I'm going to try and go for the farm down here. I want to take an energy advantage since I already am down a shield into the next matchup. In comes Lickitung, and I want to just debuff this thing all the way down. If it's going to be able to farm me down, I need to make sure that this Lickitung has almost no attack left. So I'm going to be able to get off 2 Icy Winds for sure, dealing a decent amount of damage as well. And these Ice Shards, they kind of add up. And it looks like with the debuffs, I'm going to be able to get that next Icy Wind as well. And I'm not going to switch out. I want them to force the issue. At this point, yeah, they swap into their Muk. And luckily, what am I doing? I don't know why I don't build up. That's a big mistake. They're running Poison Jab, which is much better for Alolan Sandslash here. In this case, I don't build up to the Bulldoze. If I built up to the Bulldoze, maybe I grab a shield and I can hit with the Bulldoze later. But with 2 shields up, throwing the Ice Punch isn't the worst thing in the world. So I'm just going to keep throwing Ice Punches here. The Shadow Claw's worse in this case, right? Powder Snow would be a little bit better. But I don't really think it would really move the needle all that much. You're still going to need 2 Ice Punches to take out this Muk. Actually, don't shield here. Really hoping that they go for the Acid Spray because that's kind of my only win con. And they make a great catch onto Lickitung, but this Lickitung has quite a bit of energy. So I'm actually going to swap. Oh no, I was going to swap to catch on Dewgong, but the Ice Punch actually takes out the Lickitung. They get a refund there. You can see the pause. Try and go for the catch on Dewgong. Clearly didn't work out. But this Muk is very, very low. I'm going to come in with the Venusaur. And really, at this point, it's kind of just Vine Whip damage. I won't shield. If they go for the Acid Spray, it's great. If they go for the Dark Pulse, it won't take me out. And yeah. The writing is on the wall. They're going to GG out there. And that's going to be another win for the team. Yeah, Alolan Sandslash. Kind of tough versus Lickitung now with Shadow Claw. Okay, another Hypno lead. These are everywhere. So you're going to see him swap out right away. And in comes Mew. So another case where Shadow Claw Alolan Sandslash is better. This is a Wild Charge Mew. I don't really know the counts for Wild Charge Mew. I don't even really know what could be running. They go for the Surf. That's fine. I'm not going to shield my Dewgong. I really didn't think I could win Switch versus Wild Charge Mew at that point, so that's the main reason I didn't do that. And this player throwing on CMP every time, they're really just trying to make me waste my energy here. But I don't bite. They actually go for the Surf, so I'm going to throw one more Ice Shard, go for the Icy Wind. Dewgong should be able to grab Shield or Switch here with all those baits. Yeah, gonna grab Shield and then just about get to that move, but my opponent is counting moves so well. They're gonna get to this final Surf, take out my Dewgong. I'm gonna come back with the Venusaur because my Venusaur is kind of locked into that matchup with Hypno already, and honestly, it's probably gonna be a Surf, so that's not gonna deal very much damage. Hypno's almost certainly coming back in. I go for the one Vine Whip this time because I'm going to go into my Alolan Sandslash. In this case, I'm going to have to shield up. They throw right away. Could be a Fire Punch. Could be Shadow Ball. And Shadow Ball would hurt too. Ugh. Yeah, and in comes the Snorlax. Snorlax, like I said, a little bit tricky for Alolan Sandslash with Shadow Claw. Just double resisted damage here. And you really have to watch out for the Superpower. I am throwing my moves right away though, instead of waiting for them to debuff themselves. Not really sure if that's the correct way to play this, but you can see they're just kind of spamming those licks here. Yeah, the Ice Punch is that up. And at this point, I gotta really think about this. Do I want to let my Sandslash go? I really don't mind, because at this point, Venusaur should be able to farm down the Snorlax, especially after it's debuffed. And Venusaur versus Hypno, not too bad. When the shields are down, Venusaur will be able to shred the last shield here with a Frenzy Plant, and then one more Vine Whip into a... Well, wait. No shield there on the Frenzy Plant, and Venusaur is able to just take down Hypno here. Yeah, it's one of these things where lost lead, we lost Switch, we kind of lost everything, but Venusaur with an energy advantage can overcome a lot of its counters, right? There's not a lot that resists both Frenzy Plant and Sludge Bomb. Even like Gengar, which does, can't really tank Frenzy Plant at all, in Great League at least. So another Hypno lead, by far the most common lead I've been seeing in Kanto Cup. And once again, this Hypno player will stay in. I'm going to go for the Icy Wind. I think this is the player that I kept CMP tying with. So the first one you'll CMP tie with if your Switch takes a turn. On the second move, you'll also CMP tie because Dewgong's second Ice Shard, sorry, Icy Wind is only 4 Ice Shards and Hypno's is 3 Thunder Punches. So they both get cheaper on the second one. So yeah, I'm just going to make sure I get these Icy Winds off. I really don't plan on shielding in this matchup. I think I could technically win Switch, but here we go. Here's the Haunter coming out, and they try and go for the farm. So I'm going to throw the Ice Shard. Almost certainly grab a shield. Shield. Haunter can't really tank anything. And then I think I'm going to come in with the Venusaur here and just hope Alolan Sandslash can kind of clear up the rest of the game by itself. We have a 2 shield advantage here. Dewgong has kind of manufactured, which is great. But yeah, this the Sludge Bomb really hurts, and we have the Niantic special, the lag, hopefully simultaneous, hopefully not. You can see I'm kind of freaking out a little bit here. Just tapping the middle of my screen. I don't get to my move or anything. Looks like it was simultaneous though. I don't see my Venusaur taking that much more damage. And then I can come with a Sandslash, and just 2 Shadow Claws is all it takes to take down this Haunter. So once again, Shadow Claw coming in clutch. And then another one with the Hypno coming in. Throwing a Fire Punch. So just, yeah, just make sure you're a little bit careful about those Hypnos. I farm up a little bit more before they get to the next Fire Punch. I don't want to have to spend another shield. This Ice Punch should take out the Hypno from this HP. And then what is it in the back? It is an Aerodactyl. This is not Flying Cup, my friend. This is Kanto Cup. Aerodactyl is not quite the powerhouse that it is in Flying Cup. So I'm going to go for the big Ice Punch and just take it out there. Sandslash's Steel typing really coming in handy in that matchup. That's for sure. Yet another win. And yet another Shadow Claw paying off there. So another Hypno lead. I swear this is like all I see. So kind of annoying, but it is what it is. A lot of times it's Hypno covering a Lickitung in the back, right? Hypno's the anti-fighter. And Lickitung coming in on Dewgong. That's kind of what you want to see here. When they don't throw the Thunder Punch first, like in the previous example, Dewgong can actually tank some moves. We're going to see this Lickitung throw a Body Slam. They go for the bait, which is great because this gives Dewgong enough time to get off another Icy Wind. Meaning that every subsequent Body Slam or Power Whip is just going to deal less and less damage. So in this case, not going to shield. Body Slam again, they go for the bait yet again. Going to go for another Icy Wind. At this point, they're going to have to shield or let their Lickitung go down. Either is fine for me. They actually let their Lickitung go down. So Sand Slash into Hypno is exactly what I want. But the problem is when Hypno has this much energy already, the Sand Slash matchup is not as great if they are running Fire Punch, which is always a bit of a worry. You're kind of playing a little bit of roulette. They swap out into Zapdos immediately, and what am I doing? This is not the Zapdos counter. In fact, Drill Peck does enough damage, I didn't know this, to leave you within farm down range, and I don't even get the Frenzy Plant off, which would have actually gotten a shield for sure. In this case, I'm in a bit of trouble. I have to make some pretty big decisions here. Thunderbolt will deal a ton of damage, so I must shield. And then I just build up a little bit more, and I count just a little bit wrong. But they're actually just at a Drill Peck. I don't shield here because they threw before that. What I should have done is just, I guess, farm a little bit more. I can't undercharge here because then they'll swap out. But it doesn't matter. I have to deal full damage and take out their Zapdos. And unfortunately, this Hypno, remember, has a lot of energy. So this Thunder Punch, that's not even all the energy they have. Another Thunder Punch is going to come through. And yeah, I should have went for the denial instead since I was very far behind. I need to get 3 moves here. And actually, if I had gone for the denial, I might have actually been able to win this game. Just kidding. That was the Thunder Punch. Unshielded Thunder Punch. I didn't have a shield there. Yeah, that was a tough one. Zapdos, honestly, one of the core breakers here. Powder Snow would have been better in this case, of course. Okay, Nidoqueen. What we don't like to see, and this is the reason I swapped Graveler out in the first place, Dewgong is not too bad here, and they actually stay in and let Dewgong get an energy advantage. I think that's a pretty big mistake, even if they're going for the Poison Fang. Allowing Dewgong to get an Icy Wind off ASAP against a fresh Pokemon, it just allows Dewgong to compound its advantage. So in this case, Dewgong's going to get to 2 Icy Winds before this Lickitung gets to a Power Whip. And that means Venusaur will be dealing with a double debuffed Lickitung on the outset of this. So we actually get the CMP tie. Power Whip is likely going to run. No, they go for the Body Slam, which means Dewgong might actually be able to get to another Icy Wind unless they throw their energy. So Venusaur now in a pretty good spot. They'll do Lickitung. I don't wait for my timer. I just go straight away because I don't want them to be able to switch. They actually hard swap back into the Nidoqueen because they're so scared of my Venusaur building up this advantage. I'm going to grab a shield from the Nidoqueen with a Frenzy Plant and swap to catch a Poison Fang. They do get a refund, which is kind of annoying. Really wish this game were not fixed. And Earth Power comes out, which is great because now as an Alolan Sandslash user, I can farm all the way up. I decided to go a little bit before. I probably should have farmed more, maybe pressure them to throw a Poison Fang. But because they shield, I'm able to get to another Ice Punch, which will take out the Nidoqueen. And then Alolan Sandslash with a shield up versus whatever's in the back is a pretty decent proposition. But unfortunately, it's Wigglytuff double resisting the Shadow Claw makes this matchup nowhere near as dominant as you would like. But I realized, wait a second. They've got a Lickitung. And they've got a Wigglytuff. This is Venusaur's dream. I don't need Alolan Sandslash anymore. I was just so confused as to why they swapped in their Nidoqueen if they didn't have 2 answers to the Venusaur. Because as soon as they swapped out their Nidoqueen, this game was essentially lost for them as long as my Alolan Sandslash could deal with with the Nidoqueen when it came in, or if I had any Nidoqueen answer, which it's very likely I do if I have a Venusaur in the lead. So yeah, that play threw me a little bit off guard, but Venusaur able to clean up. Venusaur versus Mew, starting 2 turns behind on this game too, kind of annoying. I go for the big Frenzy Plant first, and then my goal is, you know, I'm playing ABB, I might as well try and catch or something. They're pressured to throw here, and in all honesty, I was a bit scared of a Flame Charge. That's why I swapped to Dewgong. But they actually just go for the Surf Bait, save their energy. In comes Magneton. This one's a little bit scary. Magneton is very squishy, but it deals a ton of damage. So in this case, I just go for the Icy Wind. I probably should have went for the Water Pulse. I didn't realize Icy Wind didn't deal damage. I assumed it was going to deal more damage, because now I've gone for this move. They're also going to get more farm on Dewgong, but at least I do get to a second Icy Wind instead. So this Magneton will be debuffed. And I'm going to grab a shield. Dewgong. I can come with a Sand Slash instead of the Venusaur, because the Venusaur is still pretty useful versus this Mew. The Sand Slash also isn't. I'm not going to shield this first move because they're double debuffed at this point, and they're actually going to hard swap into Dewgong. And I'm just going to follow it up with Venusaur. Grass is good against water, Ice is good against grass. It's a little bit of a wash here. I probably should have thrown my move before their first Icy Wind, but I figured that they would shield the Frenzy Plant anyways. So I'm going to throw with good timing, and this is going to allow me to get to the second Frenzy Plant before they're able to get to their second move as well. Now just throw out 3. Hope for no sneak. And then I let that Ice Shard damage come through first so that there's less farm for this Magneton here. Although in hindsight, it turns out I actually would have been way better off had I just left that with full HP. Like, what even just happened there? I don't understand what happened. I just threw a Shadow Claw. Kind of annoying. And then the Shadow Claw goes through, takes out the Magneton, and the Mew comes in, it takes it out too. Very confusing. What series of events, but Alolan Sand Slash is able to finish off that one as well. Alright, Muk. This is pretty annoying. If it's Poison Jab, it's not too bad. You'd love Alolan Sand Slash on this Muk at this point, even though Shadow Claw's resisted. They're throwing their move right away. I'm not going to shield anything here. It's likely an Acid Spray and dip at this point, so I probably should not have thrown my Icy Wind. Just stored that instead. But the Icy Wind does go off. They're going to swap out here into the Lickitung. And you can see these licks are really adding up with the decreased debuff. So the last time this happened with the Nidoqueen, I had energy on my Dewgong. This time, I didn't store energy on my Dewgong. I really should have. I should have anticipated the Muk throwing an Acid Spray and dipping. That was not something that crossed my mind at the time. They're going to go for the Power Whip here, just to make sure they take out my Dewgong before getting debuffed again. And that's Venusaur's music. Debuffed Lickitung. You know what? Double debuffed is better. Single debuffed, that's okay as well. I'm just going to farm up. I know I can take a Body Slam. In fact, I might even be able to take a second Body Slam. So I don't mind taking this damage at all, considering the K-Muk is going to be able to one-shot me with a charge move anyways. They actually come in with the K-Muk again. Sorry, a Muk. And Frenzy Plant does a boatload of damage if they don't shield it. I have to swap. I didn't want my Venusaur to get too low, but I did fill up another Frenzy Plant, so that's ready to throw. And it's all about Alolan Sand Slash here. They've got a Pidgeot coming in. A little bit scary. It's going to be a bait game with Feather Dance and Brave Bird. And they still have the ability to kind of maneuver and swap here too. So Pidgeot goes for the Brave Bird. Shield it up correctly. Gonna just keep throwing these ice punches at it. They have another shield, so there's no reason for them to swap out and clear their debuff yet. Until now. Now this Lickitung, pretty annoying. I'm gonna throw an ice punch here. Really hope it takes it out. I don't want to have to spend a shield on anything here. So I'm gonna swap into the Venusaur, throw the Frenzy Plant just to take out this Dewgong, and it's only a little bit of energy for this Pidgeot to gain by taking down the Venusaur. Hopefully at this point, my Ice Punches are going to deal enough damage, because I know I'm likely going to have to take a Feather Dance here. And yeah, the first Ice Punch does quite a bit. Even after Feather Dance, it's likely the second Ice Punch will take out this Pidgeot. But it's an Aerial Ace. Very interesting moveset. I've never seen this before. Either way, Sand Slash heavily outpaces Pidgeot at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ice Punch versus a bunch of Gus. And Sand Slash is going to be able to win this one as well. So yet another positive set here. Actually strung together quite a few. Yeah, it's 4 wins. And just glad to be able to play a grass type. It feels like grass is kind of getting phased out in a lot of these metas nowadays. It's just not a very good type in general. So things like my favorite, Victory Bell, don't really have as much play anymore. Venusaur doesn't have as much play either. But Venusaur in this case was the perfect complement to the two new toys that I really did want to try out. Either way, that is it for the video. Just wanted to give a huge shout out once again to my Patreon supporters, who are the ones who are making it possible for me to do this in the first place. Appreciate you guys. And for everyone else, thanks so much for watching.